Hi everyone, this is my analysis on my data collection from the magazines. To begin, I'm going to talk about the gender patterns for my data. And the first pattern was that women were associated with cleaning products, and about 40% of the ads included cleaning products. So, for example, Mr. Clean, Micro Brand, Swiffer, and Pledge Spray. This was a significant pattern for me because women are expected to they're kind of expected to be at home instead of working and to do house chores, be a stay-at-home mom. And I thought that was really important to include. For the second pattern, women were associated with diets, and I found about 33% of the women's ads included diet-related products. For example, this Magnum ice cream one, Green Giant, and Cheerios. Here you can see Cheerios are in the shape of a heart. A heart is usually associated with love, and that's a quality women are expected to have, being lovely. This one is kind of like a pasta alternative, and if you zoom in on the packaging, it actually says it's fewer calories than like regular pasta, and also it says family friendly. Women are expected to want to be family oriented, and also because of the expectations and beauty standards our society has, women often try to look for food that is less calories to keep up with those standards. And then for this one, this ice cream one, it says plant-based, non-dairy. Also, it similar. Sorry, it correlates with the spaghetti one too. The third pattern was women's body image versus men's body image. And in the women's ads, it featured 40% of the people as tall and thin. So the Pledge one, here she is. She's tall, she's thin, she looks happy. And this heartburn medicine one is, she looks happy, she's tall, she's not tall, sorry, but she looks thin. And then this compared to the men's body image. In the men's ad, 50% of them were tall and also muscular. 33% were muscular. So here he is, another one, also this one. And then if you compare the two, obviously the men's one, you're expected to be tall and be strong. And then for the women's one, she's almost like delicate because she's thin, she's tall. So yeah, men are expected to be strong, women are expected to be thin. Yeah, they're both expected to be tall too. And then the next pattern I found was that in the magazines, the two magazines, the men's majority color theme was black and white, compared to the women's magazine where most of the ads were like the opposite, so like bright and colorful. And 60% of the men's ads included deeper colors like black, white, red, blue, navy blue, brown, compared to the women's ads where I found that 30% of the ads featured pastel colors. So these two Dove ones, pink, blue, white, gold, they all these colors are associated with being like innocent and feminine. Whereas the darker colors, the deeper colors, they're associated with like power and seriousness, which are the qualities that men are expected to have. And then The next pattern is that men are associated with leadership qualities, and I found that 53% of the men's ads reference leadership qualities. So, for example, in this 6-star one, here's a quote that says, "Find the power inside you and let it drive you to greatness." And a lot of the ads include, like, they mention something about winning. So, win there, winner. Yeah. And what I draw from this is that success to men, you're expected to be on top of everyone and be better than anyone in order to win. Like this one says, beef is better. Yeah. And then the last pattern is that men are associated with being athletic. And I found that 33% of the people featured in the men's magazine were muscular, and 50% made sports references. So you can see here's baseball, multiple basketball ones, and here's a football one. So I guess from what I got from this is that men are stereotypically more sports and athletic related, I guess, compared to, like, in the women's one, there's nothing really about athleticism. And then finally, I'm gonna apply the concepts I've learned from the course material. And from the reading Gender by Lisa Wade and Myra Marks, the quote says, "Most children orient themselves to toys they believe are gender appropriate and begin to make assumptions about other people based on their gender." And I'm going to relate this to this Lunchables ad from the men's magazine. So in the reading, they talk about how through childhood we learn about these gender rules, and because they're so engraved into our minds, we act upon it, and then we also expect other people to act upon their gender appropriate rules, and if they don't, then they judge them for it. And then the people who don't follow these rules, they also, like, they feel uncomfortable because they know they're gonna get judged. And yeah. And then the next quote is from the same reading: "We follow gender rules because others are watching us and expecting us to do this." And I'm correlating this more for, like, body image. So as I said, the women's magazine, the people featured are thin and tall, and then in the men's magazine they're featured as muscular and also tall. And I think, as for beauty standards for women, because we're expected to look so perfect and have perfect skin and have a perfect body, like the quote says, we try to adhere to these expectations because we're scared that we're gonna get judged by it. And same goes for the men's. They're expected to be strong, powerful, serious, and muscular. Yeah, so these were all my findings for my project. Thank you.